Hello everybody and welcome back to OMB Reviews. I am the critic who is a cynic. Hope you're doing well, and today we'll be talking about the box office preview for this upcoming weekend, which sees the release of Death on the Nile, a new film by Kenneth Branagh being put out by Disney/20th Century Studios, and it is expected to win the weekend pretty easily, where Jackass Forever is set to drop to the number 2 spot, but still doing pretty well on especially such a small budget. Spider-Man No Way Home set to hold that number 3 spot, and of course we'll talk about the fate of Moonfall, but big news, of course, coming out is the fact that Batman, which is set to come out, or rather The Batman, which is expected to come out March 4th, has sold out of its early preview fan event IMAX screenings. Around 300 plus locations across the country sold out almost immediately when they went on sale. And so we'll talk about what that means as far as the hype for the film is concerned. In an earlier video, I did talking about the chance of that film potentially being the next billion-dollar hit, even if it does not get a China release. Before going any further, though, into that bit of information, please make sure you smash that like button, live that fire button if you're watching over on Odyssey, and also make sure that you are subscribed to the channel with that bell notification turned on. That way you know every time a video or live stream goes live on the channel. We are on the way to 25,000 subscribers, so if you could please subscribe to the channel or share this video with others, it would really be greatly appreciated. So as you can see, first off, talking about this coming weekend, Death on the Nile, which is actually up there as far as one of my more anticipated films of the year. There really aren't too many films that I'm looking forward to, but I really actually like what Kenneth Branagh has done with the character of Hercule Poirot. I know that some people probably, hate the pronunciation of that name I just did, and also some others might not like Kenneth Branagh's performance there. I know that the Empress of the Universe, one of the mods on our channel, prefers other performances to his, because they are trying to really turn him too much into, or at least from her perspective, trying to turn him too much into like an action hero, which is really not what the character is all about. I understand, but Murder on the Orient Express was actually much better than I thought it was going to be. It definitely had some issues. It definitely was not my favorite film of that year, but it was one where I went in not expecting a whole lot, and came out pretty happy with the overall experience. And when it led up to and it teased, the next film, Death on the Nile, I said, hey, I actually would probably be open to go to see that. And now that we're here, now that we've had some trailers, yeah, I feel the same way. I think Kenneth Branagh, again, very talented director. Unfortunately, he is working, it seems he's working a little bit too much with Disney here, obviously through 20th Century Studios, which of course gives me grave concern, because we all know, get on thoughts about, I know River also is not a big fan of Disney, and why should she be, especially with their working with the Communist Party of China. But with that being said, Death on the Nile expected to make $14.5 million this weekend, so not that crazy or insane of an opening, but we'll have to wait, of course, and see exactly what this film does in the long run, domestically and internationally as well, to really be able to determine whether or not this film will be a financial flop or not. Definitely going to have a much higher budget than that of Jackass Forever, but still could make enough both domestically and internationally to recoup its investment. We'll have to wait and see. Location count on that is around 3,200 screens, and so those are estimates at this point. They will have the firm update, or rather they will have the final projections, and they will have the final theater count up until this evening, when they finally get those numbers in and make any other last-minute adjustments that they might feel they need to. Jackass Forever will fall about 65% in its second weekend release, dropping to $8 million, having a total of domestic total of $38 million. And so even though 65% drop seems to be pretty high in general for a film like this, a lower budget film like this, still, again, the film has broken even at this point. And is making money, and so this is just going to be basically raw gains and profits after you take into account what the theaters take from this deal will end up being in the long run. So Jackass Forever, very good place financially, doing very well, seems to be hitting it off with fans of the franchise and also even with newcomers as well. So again, seems to be like it's doing everything it's supposed to be doing. Still in the discussion, of course, is Spider-Man No Way Home, which is going to be yet again in the number 3 spot, making another $7.1 million. Again, this film just going to keep on making money, going to keep on pushing it up. And so it's now going to go up to $759 million domestically. As I said, just how high will this film go? Again, looking closer and closer to $1.8 billion. Does it even go up to 1.9? We will, of course, have to wait and see, even though it is still at around 3,500 screens. And we do have, of course, Super Bowl weekend. And the following weekend, we have President's Day weekend. You could see this film potentially be able to get enough push to get it closer to the 1.9. And who knows, maybe 2 billion is still possible. I think it's slowed down enough to where it's going to have to creep very, very slowly to that number if it's going to reach it. But I think 1.8 to 1.9 is definitely feasible. 1.8, I think, is a surety at this point, with 1.9 being a pretty strong possibility as well. We also have new films, Marry Me, which I don't know much about, coming out at $7 million this weekend. Moonfall, coming in its second weekend, dropping 59%, dropping to $4 million for a domestic total of $16.8 million. So again, that Roland Emmerich film not doing very well there. Scream 5 still in the discussion with 2.9 million, now out for about 4 or 5 weeks. So that is still doing pretty strong with 39% drop. Sing 2, as I keep on saying, the little engine that could, another 34% drop, still out at over 2,000 screens, still making money. Again, it's not the biggest juggernaut in the world, but for a film like this to cost as much as it did to make profit, that is still impressive nonetheless. We also have new films like Backlight, coming out. Blacklight, don't know much about that, from Briarcliff Entertainment. So $2 million at a little less than 3,000 screens. We also have The Beatles Get Back, the rooftop concert, getting a special theatrical release. This is something where my parents were just in town. My dad is a huge Beatles fan, so we were gonna try and see if we could work it out where we could get him to be able to go see this, and rather go take him to go see this. Unfortunately, it was the weekend after they came in, so this is getting a special, I know, IMAX treatment. So for those that are fans of the Beatles or fans of Get Back, the docuseries that's on Disney Plus, they're going to at least show part of it in IMAX, and so that is what this number is here. So again, very limited number of screens, but still, I think that this is a film that, it's going to be an experience that a lot of people probably will actually want to go see. Now, some people may have been waiting for the bigger news here. So again, Death on the Nile set to win the weekend. And that is, of course, about The Batman. So The Batman special IMAX advanced previews sell out. This coming from Deadline. As it says here, Warner Brothers put tickets on sale for a special preview of The Batman on... Ooh, look at that misspelling. On Tuesday morning, to be held in IMAX on March 1st. I know, River, it's insane. It's insane that these mega sites get past these editors in this way. Tuesday morning, to be held in IMAX on March 1st, and the show times at 350 locations, sold out almost immediately. Preview is dated so that fans can watch the movie starring Robert Pattinson simultaneously with those attending the New York premiere. So actually, I think that's pretty cool that they are able to extend this out to the fans, right? Because these premiere events are always very hoity-toity and, obviously very elitist in presence. And so the fact that they're going to be able to allow fans, right, the people that are actually the lifeblood of these series and of these movies, to actually get to see it at the same time as, the hoity-toity crowd, I think is awesome. Again, basically giving them same access. I know, River, it's exciting too. I know. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to get, because one, there's tickets that they're out of, and also I was not able to work it out. I know, River. I know you're mad at me. I can't make it through with her. I just can't get through with her. But anyway, fans are going to be able to actually see this the same time as the access media, and that's, again, always a good thing when you have the fans being put on the same level. Really, they should be put on a much higher level than that of the access media, as the access media has shown itself to be just complete shill mode, especially the last several years. The Matt Reeves directed DC movie opens on March 4th with nationwide preview starting on Thursday, March 3rd. Rival estimates believe we're in store for another $100+ million opening with The Batman in the wake of the uber success of Spider-Man No Way Home, which is on its way to becoming the third highest grossing film of all time, beating Avatar's $760.5 million, which again does not adjust for inflation, and so therefore that is not true. It's clear superhero comic book movies worked during the pandemic at the domestic box office. Oh, okay. Here's the new line, everybody. So again, Omicron. Okay, pandemic. That's why movies are failing. No one's going to see movies, even some bigger budget films. But wait a minute. If you're a superhero comic film, unless, of course, you're Black Widow, which lost money, unless, of course, you're Eternals, which lost money. Shang-Chi, you made money. Only about 30 million in net profits. Well, that kind of puts us in a bit of a conundrum here. It seems that Spider-Man No Way Home is the big exception there, because it was a superhero comic film that people actually wanted to go see. That actually featured a character that people care about. that actually gave fans what they wanted? Huh. What a concept. And this is, again, the reason why I would say it really depends whether or not this film, The Batman, is the next billion-dollar film or not, whether or not it's going to follow in similar footsteps as Spider-Man. It's not going to get anywhere close to where Spider-Man is currently. It's not going to get up to the 1.7, 1.8 billion total, but it could creep its way up close to the billion-dollar mark. It's really going to depend on, obviously, when it comes to just fan hype. And I think that this kind of confirms. Some people were saying, I'm not hyped for this film, and I'm not really hyped for this film, and I don't think the hype is really there. I think this kind of confirms that there is indeed a pretty large hype for this film. Again, IMAX tickets are not cheap. So this fan event, obviously the tickets were a lot higher than usual because of it being an IMAX special access fan event. This was actually something where, as an AMC Stubs Premier member, I was not even able to use that. Typically, you're able to use the AMC A-List Premier access for IMAX, 3D, whatever the format is you want to go see. But this was a special fan event. And so because of that, AMC A-List people were not able to get their tickets for free. So that means that people had to pay out of pocket for this film. So people that typically would get three free movies a week in whatever format they want, had to pay extra for this. And so I think that kind of even adds more to the hype around this film, and why I think that there is still a chance that this film is potentially going to be a billion-dollar hit. Now, it needs to be able to, of course, show itself to be strong opening weekend. Obviously, the $100+ million domestic opening is going to be a big part of that. It doing well internationally is going to be a big part of that. It, of course, also having strong legs is going to be the biggest part of that. You all know I'm always about that week 1 to week 2 drop-off. It's really going to depend on a lot of those factors going in. Also, this film is going to be dealing with something that Spider-Man No Way Home didn't have to deal with, which is going to be competition, right? There's films that are set to be released over, the period of March into April. And so the question of whether it can continue and whether it can, basically be able to compete against other films is going to be at the forefront of this discussion. But overall, is a very good early sign for The Batman, again, for this fan event to have sold out as quickly as it did. Again, these are special tickets that even AMC A-List people were not able to get for free, so people had to pay extra even if they're already paying for a subscription service to a theater, which, by the way, I am a proud AMC A-List person. Even though I don't typically use it, there's been several months where I've not seen any films. Obviously, I plan for the summer is going to be when I make that up handedly, because this will be a summer where I will not have to do stay-at-home dad with baby Thor at daycare this year compared to last year, where he was still too young really for that. So it'll be exciting just to be able to go see movies again and to see double features and things like that, and actually be caught up with movies, do more movie reviews for the channel as well. So very excited to looking forward to that for this summer. But with all that being said, the Batman looking like it's going to be in a pretty special position. But anyway, those are the numbers. So are you excited about the Batman? I know that there are a lot of people out there not hyped, but does this maybe change your mind about there being hype? Again, I think that this kind of proves that there is indeed a pretty large amount of hype for this film. You may not be a part of that hype, but the hype still is there. I know that I personally am hyped. Can't wait for those tickets to go on sale. I plan to go see this film opening night, trying to see this film, of course, in IMAX, as that is the best format that I have near me. I don't have the Dolby Vision, unfortunately. The Dolby theaters near me. Really wish I did, because that's the best way of seeing any film. But, what are your thoughts about this? Do you think that this could potentially indicate that the Batman's going to be a pretty massive hit? I think that it does. Also, what are your thoughts about this coming weekend, Death on the Nile? Are you going to go see it? Do you think that it could do better than the 14.5 million? The range that they have on that is between 12 and 17 million, whereas the other films set to come out 1 to 4 for Blacklight, Marry Me is 6 to 9. Again, films that I don't really know that much about. And also, of course, Jackass Forever is still in the conversation. So what are your thoughts about this and anything else I mentioned in the comment section? Let me know in the comment section down below. Also, there will be indeed a ballot for the Wednesday Raven Awards that will go live for everybody very soon. Right now, it's just been live for members on the YouTube channel. So if you are a YouTube member, check out the community tab, the community section, and you'll see your ballot there. Also, if you are a Patreon, Subscribe Star, Locals members, any of those types of members, you have a link in your respective area. I've also uploaded on the Discord server for people who are part of those groups as well. So go ahead and fill out your ballots early. It's interesting seeing some of the early results for the Wednesday Raven Awards this year, but it'll go public for everybody probably by the end of the week. So that way everyone will have more than a month or so to be able to put their votes in, as we, again, are a boycott of the Oscars and will go up against the Oscars as we typically do. So want to make sure I give everyone the opportunity to put those votes in. But let me know your thoughts about any of this stuff in the comment section down below. You're all amazing and beautiful people. Please, again, smash the like button, light that fire button. And again, have a wonderful rest of your week. And as always, God bless. And now for a huge shout out to all of my Patreon Subscribe Star and Locals members, starting off with Patreon animation commentator Brandon, let's go Brandon, Brian P., Christopher Bowman, Father Christopher Miller, hail to you, Father. Father Damian Cook, Fuzz Aldrin, Garrett Searles, Hannibal Grimm, Harold Francis, Hymir Ari Hymason, Inflamed Wood, Jacob Juice, Jeffrey Toon, Joe Horn, Jonathan Carney, Gomer Kyles 79, Laura, The Modern Major General's Story, Mike Jackson, Mad Mitch Dunaway, Mondo Spieler, Mr. Peabody, On to June, Orange Hat Reviews, Out of Step with Reality, Priscilla Hall, Rosetta Ellen, Stan Andrian, Teresa Martin, or Miss Martin Muses, Theodore Benden, Tina Bojan, and Tina B., the Empress of the Universe. Thank you very much for supporting me over on Patreon. Also to my Subscribe Star peeps, UAB Mad Dog, which is Mr. Mike Jackson, Storm Tracker, The R, Fast Reaction, Nosferatu Gatsu, Stand For, John B., Mr. Roy, Glinzer, J. Alex McCarthy Jr., Dean Heiss / the new number 2, J-Rod the Beer Guru, and ZK-Man. Thank you all very much for supporting me over on the Subscribe Star platform. And to my 3 local supporters, we got Kara Tharp, UAB Mad Dog, which is once again Mike Jackson, super supporter over there, and Robert Barnes. Thank you very much for supporting me over on the Locals platform. And if you want your name shouted out at the end of every live stream and video, please think about signing up on either of those platforms. You can find a link in the description below that will lead you to all of those different pages. It is known as the Willow link, as it is w.lo link, and it will have all the links to that, to the Discord channel, to all different kinds of places, including places to support me as well. At the Citizen of Asgardian level, you get Citizen of Asgardian level is how it's labeled on Patreon. Still need to fix that, but Citizen of Asgard level, you get a shout out at the end of every live stream and video. If you join at the Army of Asgard level, you also access to a giveaways channel, which is featured on the Discord that I have. I know, River, it is very exciting. It is so exciting, where you get giveaways for things like 4K titles, Steelbook titles, etc. Again, I got some 4K Steelbooks of The Punisher, for instance. I've got 4Ks of tons of other movies, so I'm giving those away all the time. So if that sounds interesting to you, join the Army of Asgard level. Also, at the Keep of the Bifrost level, you get all of that stuff, plus you get access to a once a month and maybe twice a month. We're trying to add an extra podcast in there of me and John the Flick Pick Flickinger, where we talk about movies, and also you get to ask your questions. Any questions that you want to ask, you get to ask with that podcast. And then you have the Chosen of Valhalla level, which gives you access to all of those, and also a once a month podcast where you get to be featured with me on the main channel. We all get to talk together about movies, culture, pop culture, anything really that the Chosen want to talk about, or anything the Chosen want to promote is on the table. So if you like that, join at the Chosen of Valhalla level. Also, during your first month of support, you get a free t-shirt. Any t-shirt that you want from the main store, you get access to, and I do ship internationally anywhere in the world. Anyway, you guys are all amazing and beautiful people. Hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day. And as always, God bless.